I don't have a ton of photos that I've taken printed up in my house. I should definitely have more. But one of the few that I do is this photo of a tree. And I took it about 5 years ago during a van overnight into the Cascades. I really like this photo. But it seemed like maybe we should just go check up on that tree and see how it's doing. So the whole family piled into the van for a one-night overnight here at the end of summer. Let's go see how that tree's doing, if we can find it. But me being me, I definitely was going to bring way too many cameras for a one-night overnight, so I needed something to carry them. And that's where the Brevité The Jumper bag comes in. I want to say thank you to them for sending this over. It's a really nice, light, small little camera backpack and stuff. I'll talk more about it later, but it's a dope bag, and I don't know, if you want one, there's a link down. You've been on the internet before, you know how this works. Right back, I could fly, I could fall, I know you got my back. Never thought I would. Before we got up to the place we were actually going to go camping, we stopped for a little bit as a family to kind of play by a lake and let Lena ride her bike. But we quickly realized that letting a 1-year-old crawl around on the rocks right next to a fairly deep lake was not exactly a low-stress environment. So we all piled back into the van to go back up to the top. I like weekends, never leaving our bed. So here's some epic footage of my Vanagon doing Vanagon things. We should probably talk through all the cameras that I was going to bring on this trip. For 35mm on this trip, I was going to be shooting my Leica CL with a Voigtlander 35mm f1.4 Nocton Classic, shooting Kodak Vision 3 500T movie film, and then I do have the 85B filter on top of it. Oh my god, that's so much to say. That's kind of my standard setup. Like, I pretty much always have that exact setup with me. Then for medium format, I was going to shoot with my Mamiya 6, which just always makes me happy, and then I was putting Portra 400 through it. I brought a digital R6, but you can't see that because, you know, it's... And then I also brought Lena's Ricoh Auto-Half SE2 with Kentmere 400 film. Hey Lena, are you okay if I put black and white film in your camera?
I don't care what any color film.
Where are your fingers?
I got no issues, it's kinda nice, like running water into a paradise.
I love this photo of my van, and it definitely is because it's my van, but I don't know, it just feels, it's just a fun little moment of what the stage of life and adventure looks like. As soon as we got there, we did a little bit of biking around, and then quickly realized that it was time to start the dinner bedtime process, because camping with a 1-year-old means you need to be ready for those things a lot earlier than doing it without children. Luckily, as it's late summer, sunset was a lot earlier than it is for like a early July camping trip, so it's not as hard to convince children to go to sleep.
I could fly, I could fall, I know you got my back. Never thought I would find someone to love like that. Like that, like that. I like that. We laugh till we cry to keep our love intact. Take a ride, turn them back so we can save on gas. Never thought I would find someone to love like that.
Yeah, she took this one herself. I've never seen her take a selfie of herself before, which just was really funny, and I definitely didn't have the heart to tell her that this has a fixed focus of like 6 meters, and that photo is definitely always going to be out of focus. So with Nico's last energy, we decided we'd go over and try to find that tree to see if we can photograph again. I was taking these photos of the trees kind of in my mindset of like, is this the recreation photo? But it just like, I knew as I was taking, I was like, this is wrong. This isn't it. But I still took the photos. I took one on 35 with the Leica and also one with the Mamiya 6. And I definitely like the one with the Leica better. There's just something about the framing that just seems to fit a little bit nicer, and the width I think really works showing the mountains in the distance, whereas in square, I feel like there's too much of like a shadow gap between the tree and the mountains. I don't know if I needed to squat down a little bit lower or something like that just to get the framing right, but yeah, I don't know. I definitely like the 35 one a lot better. There's also a photo that at that same time as that original photo was taken, Erica had taken this photo of me holding baby Lena, who she was only like 6 weeks old at that time. And I think that's been my Instagram profile photo forever. So I kind of wanted to have an updated version with both children and me in the mountains and stuff. So we're gonna go try to find a good spot to do that. Could I find the photo again? And I looked everywhere, and I kept finding like trees, and it's like, nope, that's not it, that's not it, that's not it. I took quite a few, and yeah, on the night, I did not find it. But did you see it? Right there. And stop the tape. That's the tree, right there. Yeah, I just was looking in the wrong place. Yeah, they look like they're still alive and doing their thing, but no new photos of them. I guess I need to go back next summer. After Nico fell asleep in the van, we were kind of wandering around within a couple hundred yards of the van and stuff, just if he started to cry, we could hear him. But there's plenty to explore and stuff, and so it's just a fun little time to get out and go for a walk and run around and be goofy with Lena and stuff. It's just such a fun way to spend an evening, and there's nothing quite like subalpine experience and stuff. It's just like you're really high in the mountains and the light is beautiful and it's a cool place, and I don't know, it's just a special time to both make photos and even more so to make memories. It was fun shooting because of the two cameras I had on me at that point. I had my Mamiya 6 and then I also had my digital R6, but the R6 I'd actually set it to shoot in square format, just that both cameras were square, just to see kind of what the same format would look like in the two different looks and stuff. I don't know, it's always just fun to see what the two tools can create in the same scenario. And this is my favorite photo from this little sunset session here, just because I feel like the mix of the lighting and the shadows mixed with the sunset lighting and the way that the track just kind of pulls your eye through. And it definitely only works in square. It really came together in a nice way and really kind of keeps your eye lost in the frame and keeps you looking around for more elements. As you look around and watch the rest of these little photos and stuff, let's talk about the Brevité jumper real quick, because this is an awesome backpack. Things that I do really love. It is light. I mean, it weighs like super nothing. I have other backpacks and stuff that are they're heavier and stuff, and so for a small shoot or maybe like a summer getaway or something like that, it's a really great backpack. I do love the zippers on this, are just like the easiest moving zippers I've ever used on something. Now maybe that's just because it's a new backpack, but they just slide really nicely, both the ones here on the outside or this hip belt one. It just like flows in a way that's really helpful and makes it really easy to load this backpack. And it's one of those camera styles that there is in the bottom, there's kind of a camera specific pocket down here, and it does have a side entrance. So if you're wearing your backpack, you can just open up and pull stuff in and out. And then on top of it, there is kind of a more standard compartment, and those can be open. There's a Velcro in between those, but that Velcro is actually super strong and it's fully sealed. I have another backpack of a similar shape, but it has holes. So it happens all the time that like I put a battery in the top pocket, and then I go to find it, and it's actually it's slid down to the bottom part. So like that doesn't happen, which is super awesome. It also has extra straps to put a tripod or, you know, hook your coat on into it or whatever that you need on the outside. And then there's little things like passport pocket, or the little thing here so that you can slip it onto like a rolly bag and stuff so it doesn't move. I don't know. It's a super great backpack. Beyond that, I don't have a whole lot else to say other than it's a great small backpack. As I'm looking at a backpack like this, I do always have my 3 questions I always ask when I'm buying new gear, at least specifically photography gear, and make sure that I'm answering those in the affirmative before I purchase the thing. And that is, does this solve a specific problem I already have? 2, will this help me make more money? And 3, how do I only buy this once? If you're curious about those questions, I have a whole video explaining my mindset. You should probably go watch it. But this backpack is pretty awesome. Is there anything that I don't like about it? I would say it's not huge. And that's probably more my problem than its problem. If you are a person who can contain yourself and only bring 1 or 2 cameras, then it's great. If you're not looking for something for like a normal day pack, this is a pretty awesome option. If you're going for something where you're going out hanging out in town for an afternoon or something, you want space for cameras, a water bottle, and a light jacket, it's perfect. If you were going out even professionally, like this is a really great setup for an engagement shoot. And I've done that. Like I brought this on an engagement shoot to one of our ferries, and it was great. I was able to pack both my Leica and my digital, and I think I even brought my Hasselblad too. And then I just had like my normal dual camera straps, which I put on and then put the backpack over the top of it, which actually was super comfortable. It worked really well. And I was able to carry all of those things. But that was kind of like maxing out the backpack for everything I could do. I don't think I could use this for like a weekend getaway or something, like unless I was going to Phoenix in July and I knew I was going to literally just wear running shorts the entire time. But there just isn't enough space for any sort of a bigger getaway. The only other thing that I don't like about this backpack is that I have found that these dividers, which come with it, the Velcro is not super strong. And maybe I'm doing this wrong or something, but it feels that like I put them in here, I put them on to where I want them to kind of separate lenses or separate cameras or whatever, and then I'd seal it up and I'd wear it for a few hours and it'd open up and it'd all be like jumbled around in there. Just be aware and don't overpack your backpack like I probably do, and it'll probably work out great. That said, thanks to Brevité for sending this over, and definitely check one out from the link. Once Lena went to sleep, I think Erica cashed out too. I had about an hour to go take some Milky Way photos by myself, and I don't think any of these photos are spectacular or anything, just because honestly I've taken all of them in this exact spot before, so nothing new was happening. But it was really fun just to be out and to feel small in the universe and to actually see like bright stars above my head, which just always feels really good. And it's not a thing that I get to experience often enough because I live in a city. Then the next morning, we woke up to a very beautiful soft sunrise and quickly loaded the bag up, had some bagels and cream cheese in the car, and headed home. And yeah, it's pretty fun to have these kind of one-night adventures just because, like, obviously I get to make photos, I get to make memories with my family, but it's also just the creating a normalcy around those and saying that, like, yeah, we can pick Erica out from work, roll up as a family, go have one fun night and be back. And that helps that just to be a normal thing for my kids' lives and for our family story, so that they have those memories looking back on them, but also the next time that we do it, hopefully it feels even easier just because this is a thing we do.